All right, so I got some comments here to talk about today. The first comment I want to go back to here is pretty much the funniest comment that I've seen in a while on my YouTube channel, at least. This guy goes, "This isn't boardsy." I read this a while ago, and that's on my artisan mousepad review, different reviews thing. So this guy goes, "This isn't boardsy," and this guy responds with facts. "The sky is hotter," and that's just the funniest comment, the funniest response that I could imagine for that. But I love that comment. Anyways, here's the comment that I actually wanted to talk about today. So how much do I want to give Nvidia? How about nothing? And this is on that video about like how much do you want to pay for the new 4090. That being a very expensive card at like the $1,600. And I said in that, like, the performance my point in that video is the performance we're getting on current generation cards is already good enough for so many people. How much do you want to pay for that little bit of extra performance? And this person says, how about nothing? Like, I don't want to pay anything more. I'm going with AMD, if any, meaning on the next generation, they're going to get an AMD card. And then they go on to say some other things. They say PC gaming is getting to be way too expensive, and they are frequently releasing newer, more expensive parts constantly. As soon as you upgrade, there's a new product out, and console gaming is in the toilet too. I'm pretty much done wasting my life and money on trash. Time to get a skill and throw this crap out. So Stenchfinger, my friend here, is saying, yeah, I don't want to spend any more money on this. PC gaming is getting way too expensive. I feel like they're just upgrading things constantly. As soon as you upgrade, there's a new product out, and consoles aren't any better. I want to be done with it. I want to throw this crap out and do other things with my time. So let's go to that last part there. If you feel like you're done with whatever hobby thing you want to do, especially something recreational like PC gaming, or even if it's just like watching Netflix, like if you want to be done with that and you wanted to do something more productive with your time, there's tons of more productive things to do. And if you want to get a new hobby that you feel is more productive, all on you to go do that. The power you get from like selling your stuff. I had a lot of photography stuff as a professional photographer before this, and then moving my career into different areas. When I sold a lot of that photography stuff, I felt so empowered and so free to do whatever I wanted with my time and my money. I didn't feel like I had to use all this stuff. And I feel like a lot of people could gain from that too by getting rid of their PC hardware if they don't want to use it anymore. I see a lot of people selling like, hey, I got this during the pandemic. I don't want to do it anymore. I found other hobbies. I'm selling my computer on the used marketplace locally. That's totally a thing that I've seen so many people do and experience. And I want to say you're totally valid for doing that. Like, if you want to get rid of it, totally get rid of it. And now speaking more broadly, I've seen the sentiment of PC gaming is getting to be way too expensive, and they're frequently releasing newer and more expensive parts constantly. I've seen that sentiment too. And I think that's valid too, to a point, but I think it's good to remember the perspective of that. So what I would say is, and also to this point about how much do I want to give Nvidia, how about nothing? I mean, you're in control of that, totally. Don't give them money if you don't want to. PC gaming is getting way too expensive. I think that you can still have a good experience on a $200 graphics card. You can go out to Newegg right now and buy a new 6600 XT for around $250. That price is just going to come down as the year goes on and more cards get released and yada, yada, yada. And as the supplies get more inflated, when thinking about this video, I thought about some way to include, like, I almost said, I don't have a degree in economics, but it's just supply and demand, but I actually have a degree in economics. So funny boy moment there. Like I literally, like, when pre-writing this video in my head, I thought I don't have a degree in economics, but it's simple supply and demand. But yeah, I have a degree in economics, so I can't say that. Anyways, weird flex, but so about with that, supply and demand, you have full control. The best way to make prices come down on something is to not buy it. Believe it or not, if no one wants to buy something, if Nvidia sees that no one's buying their new cards, price cuts are in order because they need to make revenue to keep their business going while cutting down on their profit margin. And there is something to be said about BOM costs and things like that, but I don't want to get into it this video. And PC gaming is getting way too expensive. You can have a great experience on a $200 card. I just built a living room system, brand new from Micro Center for somewhere in the range between $600 and $700 something dollars. And that computer plays the games that I want to play on the TV in 4K, by the way, at a reasonable frame rate for the most part. That Star Wars one is pretty hard to run at 4K for the card, but you know, it's a 6600 XT system, and I got a generation old 3600X on it with just whatever the cheapest motherboard, cheapest RAM, and just a decent like SSD, because that's what it does. It just plays the games and it stores some hard drive space for a Plex server on it, and that's all I needed to do. But honestly, if you didn't have a computer at all, that computer is like so decent at doing so many things. And I think people forget that old hardware is still good. It's just that our expectations have moved up. So making sure those expectations don't go too high, making sure we don't get ahead of ourselves and spend money on things we don't need, it's really important. And I know my whole channel is based on this mouse and that mouse. My goal for people is to find one thing that they really like and then just keep that thing. If that thing is on the cutting edge of technology and costs like $250, or if that thing costs $20 and is available in your local Best Buy, these two are both valid options for people. I just want to make sure that people who are into it like me know what they're buying and want to buy it. So I'm an enthusiast. Don't take my stuff for example. And if you really want something because you want it, go buy it. And if you want something because you think you need it, evaluate if you really need that thing and don't buy it. So totally valid comment. I didn't want to just like make this video bashing on this person. But I think that, oh man, my mouse is dying. Other mouse. I think that they have a lot of valid points in here, and I wanted to make sure that if I made a comment on it, I wouldn't just be calling them out, but instead would be kind of like validating their point. Like, these are all real points. And remember that when it comes to PC hardware especially, don't just buy it because it's new. Buy it because there's actually something going on and it makes sense for you to buy. Like, if your computer broke and now you need a new graphics card and this is what's out right now, so you might as well buy it because the price to performance works. That's a valid reason. But spend your money however you want. If you don't want to do this, if you want to get a skill and not play PC games anymore, totally the more power to you. TLDR, stop buying graphics cards, I guess. Stop buying things you don't need in general. Totally, it's better for everyone. Actually, it's better. It's better for the environment. It's better for your wallet, and it lowers the price on things when you don't buy them, believe it or not. So, yeah, that's it. If you have questions about this or more of a comment, please just leave a positive comment on that video. That slaps. And then also, I've noticed a lot of new interactions with my other videos lately. Thank you for that. And peace. Have a good one.